Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Designing the Landing Page. Today we have in our sort of studio, that's not actually a studio, but an office, Jenine from Intuition Awakening. Jenine, how are you doing today?
Good. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing good as well. We just talked a little bit about all the new COVID measures that are going on in our country. The ones for me in Amsterdam and the ones for you in Canada. And it is quite weird how things are going to change again. But for now, we'll just kind of roll with the situation as it is. And we're going to get started. Jenine, can you first introduce the people that have not seen your previous live streams to your business?
Sounds great. My name's Jenine. I'm a Reiki master located in Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. I specifically work with mental health and trauma treatment. So I've created an anxiety meditation, I should say a anxiety relief meditation. And that's what we're building the landing page for here today. This is another way for me to interact with new clients, new customers. Hopefully I'll create a Facebook ad and then it will direct people to this landing page to say, here, download this really amazing free 10-minute anxiety relief meditation.
Yeah, exactly. Because you provide Reiki as a service, so to say, and you do it in groups and you do it on an individual basis. Can you explain to people what Reiki is?
Sure, yeah. Reiki is a Japanese energy healing technique. So if you're familiar with acupuncture or Chinese medicine, which has been around for thousands of years, it's kind of something similar. It works with the idea that all illness in our body actually has an energetic source. So instead of going to a doctor and getting a medicine to fix your problem, we start to look at your emotions, your physical body, we start to look at the spiritual levels. And Reiki corresponds to 7 main chakras in our body, which is kind of where we store energy. So it's a little brief overview. And during a Reiki session, what I help you do is rebalance your energy. And when your energy is balanced, it promotes relaxation in the body, it promotes healing, and it helps our body really do its jobs as best as it can.
Awesome. So your main goal actually is to help women out with trauma. And we looked in the first session we did together. Okay, how can we make your business a little bit more approachable? Because people might have experienced trauma, but they're not aware of it, but they are aware of the symptoms. So the first thing they might notice is that, oh, I'm really anxious. And then we realized, okay, maybe we should focus on that and create a free meditation so you can get some people in your audience on an email list that you can continue talking to and can continue building a relationship with.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that was a really great place to start because I know what Reiki is. I've been practicing it for a few years. I've been, having sessions for myself for a while now, but it's still quite new to a lot of people. And so is the word trauma.
Yeah.
I think trauma is really underdiagnosed, but we often experience all of these mental and physical and emotional symptoms that we just don't have an answer to. And it's likely because we're experiencing trauma responses, PTSD, and yeah, that's where things like anxiety and depression come in, and feeling hopeless or helpless, and some of the other things we identified on that board behind you. This is a really good approachable way to introduce people to what Reiki is and how I can hopefully help them really heal well.
Yeah, exactly. And what we've done so far is actually, that's good that you pointed out. I already forgot that actually I have it right behind me, your value communication canvas that we use as the foundation for writing your copy. And then in the previous session, we actually wrote the copy itself. So I have it right here. If my laptop will allow it, there we go. So it says, calm and connected in 10 minutes. Shift the nervous system from fight and flight to healing with this free 10-minute anxiety relief. Download now. Then we start building interest by mentioning some facts about anxiety. It's very normal to feel anxious. It can make you vulnerable, and it's okay to find support for ourselves. With the right tools, anxiety doesn't have to be in your way. Then we start with a little story about you. 3 years ago, I got started with Reiki as a way of dealing with my anxiety. I was drowning in it. I was even scared to leave my house. I tried 10 different kinds of medication and none of them worked. I didn't enjoy anything anymore. After my first session of Reiki, I was anxiety-free for 3 months. I started meditating. I started to find all these tools to help myself with my mental health. I became passionate about Reiki, and since that time, I became a certified Reiki master. Today, I present a meditation that is designed to relieve and manage anxiety, so you can get the most out of life. So this is basically going from the interest to desire. So we have stated the problem, then we relate to people on an emotional level. I also went through this, and then you present the solution to them. And the solution, a toolkit to feel calmer and more present that you can take anywhere. This calming 10-minute meditation that you can access on your phone anywhere at any time will help you to learn how to signal to your body that you are safe using deep breathing. Reassure yourself that everything is okay using affirmations, and learn to understand your needs so that you can get your needs met. And then finally, a call to action. Download my free meditation and experience calm today. Download now. So that is what we did last time. And now we are, it's pretty much time to take all of this copy and actually make a page out of it. So as you can see in this overview here, and maybe it's a little bit hard to read with my microphone there, but it says features, benefits, and experience. So you go from the experience, which is the emotional part, then you mention the benefits and then the features in your own communication. And that's what we try to do here as well. And we'll take this into account during the designing process too. So now, last time also, my computer had a lot of trouble trying to render both your Zoom call and this live stream and the web pages. So I'm going to ask you for now to turn off your video.
There you go.
Thank you very much. Yes, awesome. And then we can get started in Elementor. Elementor is a page builder, and a page builder pretty much is an add-on to WordPress. And it makes building pages easier, as the name implies. So if everything is going okay, you should be able to see what I'm doing right now. And we're going to get started designing your website. Now, I created a temporary website for you, and you can just transfer it to your own domain later. But before you do that, actually, I would like to ask you a question about your domain, because what domain name are you currently using?
My website name is intuitionawakeningbyjanine.com.
All right, cool. Now, for domain names, you usually want to have as short of a name as possible. So,
yeah. Intuition Awakening and a few other things I had tried were already taken. So I ended up adding that into my domain name just so I could have Intuition Awakening in the title there.
Yeah, I can imagine so. Now, I have some good news for you, and I have been waiting to tell you this all week because I was so excited about it when I first saw it. The domain name intuitionawakening.com opened up.
Oh.
So I registered it, so we can put this website that we're building today, we can put it immediately on that domain name, so you don't have to go through the hassle of finding out how all of that works. But it is a bit shorter, intuitionawakening.com.
Yeah.
And I was so excited because it is really rare that you find you find a domain name that you actually want. Even for my own business, we're using apis.io because the .com cost about $5,000 because some guy registered it once and now decides that's worth a lot of money. So I was slightly overexcited for that.
That's very cool.
Okay, so as you can see, I chose a background image here, and I think you know, but you are familiar with Envato elements, right?
I'm not sure. Wix is the only site that I've been using for my website because that's. Oh no, yeah, but Envato, yes, we've used this before. Yeah.
Yeah. So you use it also for your music and for your images.
Yeah.
I'm not sponsored by these people. If they want to sponsor me, I would be very happy. But I love their service because you can get all kinds of graphics, of music, video templates, but also stock images. And I chose this one because it is in someone's bedroom, so that's really, that's basically where you would like to use this maybe. So it's really something that people can relate to. It has a nice iPad in there, so people know that this is a guided meditation. And what I also really like is that the person is aligned on the right side of the image, which is great because we want to put the text on the left side.
Yeah, it looks great.
So before I move on here, I would like to take a look at your current website. So we're going to, because I have to match, of course, your brand values and the way that you've designed things so far. And I'm just going to go through it a little bit and maybe give you some feedback on some things and ask you some questions about, okay, what do you want to keep per se? What can I play with, so to say, on the design aspect? So one thing I noticed here immediately is that you like the purple. So that's great. And you like more of a bold color scheme. I got that from your last responses to our last call as well.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Then if I scroll down here, big images. Great. And also I like the font here. It is kind of it's nice, it's round, it's really friendly, but it's also really modern.
Thanks.
So that if you could describe your brand, and then you have certain brand values, of course. How would you describe your brand values?
I think something that's important to me, even just to talk about the color briefly, is I know a lot of massage websites or Reiki websites, they're very natural looking greens and whites.
Yeah.
I really wanted something that stands out, that's fresh, because that's who I am as a person as well. Like, we're not, Reiki in itself is very relaxing, yes, but we're also here to do a lot of really big transformational work. So I think the colors kind of go along with this. Expect something a little different than a regular massage or, a relaxing session. It will happen, but there's also this element of there's a lot more behind the scenes. So the colors were kind of, and as well, black and white represent balance, and purple is the crown chakra color, which is where we start Reiki healings. So they all kind of have these little meanings behind them. And yeah, as for things like, the text, same thing. I like text that's very rounded, very easy to read on the eyes, that's large enough. I know you've taught me a lot about keeping things short and not writing too much in paragraphs. And some of my brand values, I think that the colors tie into, the website design ties into as well, is I identify as a queer woman. And that's a big part of my business as well. It's queer owned and operated. I am very inclusive and non-judgmental. And so things are a little bit different. They're a little bit funky with my brand. And that's important for me to let people know as well that they're safe here. I really want to be a social entrepreneur as well. That's something that's very important to me. So doing donations and giving back to the community, that's a value on my missions page. And also having some affordability for students. I'll offer student pricing, or if people need payment plans, I try to make it as accessible as possible, because right now in most countries, and Canada included, it's not covered by doctors. It's not covered by medical benefits. So those are kind of some of the things I can think of off top of my head.
All right, cool. So these are all things that we want to incorporate as much as possible. Obviously, you're a big part of the business. Your personality is a big part of the business. So we want to make sure that is well represented in design. So the purple then is the first color because it is representing the crown chakra, if I understand correctly.
Yes. Yeah.
And then we have other playful colors just for the sake of it, is it then okay if I use, for example, other colors that represent the chakras as well, that we use that as part of the color scheme here? Or would you like to stay more with one theme, for example, more bluish, purplish throughout the entire thing, so you would have a more monotone color scheme that maybe is a bit easier on the eyes?
Yeah, I think that fits well because I use that on my Instagram page as well. I still just use like black or purple writing with white and black and purple accents. So it's kind of a common color scheme. Yeah, I don't typically branch out with more colors than just those.
All right, great. So I'm going to take a look at your logo.
Mhm.
I think if I can zoom in a little bit.
You can make it bigger.
Just like that. Becomes a little bit pixelated, but it also helps us to identify some issues maybe with the logo. First of all, it's really hard to read right now.
Yeah,
So that's a
logo
shame.
creation has been something that I have no idea where to start or what it means or what to do with it. It's really hard to get Intuition Awakening readable on a very small little pixel or little size like that.
Yeah, I can imagine. And at the same time, you have, of course, I really like this icon that you have here. So I think we should definitely incorporate that on this landing page. And then the font, I'm not so completely sure about the headings, because what I really like about your website is that it has round and soft, font style, which really gets your brand values across, because you want to be calming, at the same time you want to be very clear. I see that is how you operate in the Reiki sessions as well. So I think that should be represented in the logo then too. Now, what I notice about the logo, which is something that I don't notice anywhere else in your current visual identity, is that you use these big, bold capital letters, which are kind of like, hey, do you want to have some intuition awakening? It's really bold. And it really makes a statement, but at the same time, you kind of maybe want to make a statement with the colors, like you already with the black, the white, the purple, and try to soften things out with the fonts.
Okay.
So
yeah, no, that's really good advice.
that's something that I would like to propose to you. Then another thing is how do you align everything regarding the logo? So you have the icon. I would put the letters right next to it. And then that will be kind of easier to read, because then you have everything in the same size. I don't know whether that's possible in Wix, but it is possible in Elementor. So today we're just going to do it.
Yeah.
Now, then let's see. I'm going to use Coolers then. And Coolers is a way to generate a color scheme. So I've already picked some colors, because I've kind of cheated here a little bit, because I already took some time to think about your logo before this live stream started. And I'm just going to show you some stuff, and then you can say whether that fits your brand well or not, whether we should change it, because we need to get something. We need to make some decisions in order to make sure that everything is consistent throughout the page, because otherwise we're going to be confused and, oh, maybe we can have this font there and this font there. You don't want to make to have more than one, max 2 fonts on the same page. So I'm just going to open Photoshop here. And, I picked an even brighter and more saturated pinkish, bluish purple. And this is a very simple logo, but I think it works. So I would like to know what your opinion is on that for now.
Yeah, no, it's nice. I really like that purple, actually. It's very crown chakra-esque. Like, it's very crown chakra is very bright and gleaming, and the colors that I had picked were simply kind of, yeah, fiddling around with the colors on the side and finding
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that I like. So I think this one's actually quite nice and fresh.
Perfect. Okay, then I'm going to zoom in a little bit, just so I can pick my own colors, because I forgot which ones they were. And then I'm going to put that into Coolers, which is the color scheme generation app. Now, what I love about Coolers is that even if you have no idea what colors you want, you can just press start the generator, and then it creates a nice palette. If I go here to my browser, you can actually see what I'm doing. All right, takes a while. That's okay. We're of course working here with a live stream. I know, I know it is taking a while. There we go. And you can use the spacebar to just keep generating new color schemes. So in this case, I'm just going to put here the purple that I chose, and then I'm going to also pick the dark color that I chose, which is also a purple. I personally am not a really big fan of using harsh black and a really harsh white on a website. Harsh white, I'm actually quite a fan of that. Now I'm not telling the complete truth, but harsh blacks, that's a really, really strong contrast. So in this case, we're just going to add a little bit of blue in the mix, and it will still look like black, but just because it is a little bit more bluish, it will look a bit softer.
Yeah, I really like that color. Like you said, it's kind of creates some depth to it versus contrast, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, great. So then, let me see this one. I want to see if I can actually get... there's a picker. There we go. So I was thinking maybe we could go have a color like this to use as a secondary color, so people have... that we can add some buttons that catch the attention more because they're brighter.
Okay.
That's something we could try.
Yeah, I've tried using a blue like that in some of my older posts, and then I had narrowed down my colors a bit. So I'm familiar with that blue. I'd like to see it as a button. Yeah, if that would make a difference.
We're just going to see whether it works. And for now, I think that we'll just use this as the color scheme. And that's already quite bold. So I'm just going to make a PDF out of it. We're going to call it Color Scheme for Intuition Awakening. Then I can download that one and send it to you later.
Cool.
If this works, of course. This is a live experiment. Now, I'm going back to this page. As you can see, I changed the font here to the same font that was used in the logo that you just saw in Photoshop. So we're going to use the same font throughout this page, so we are consistent and people can recognize your brand. The main thing with getting a brand, creating a visual identity for a brand, is consistency. You want to have the same colors, the same typography over and over again, so people will just take a glance at it and immediately know it's you.
Yeah, very true.
I mean, at this point, Coca-Cola has pretty much coined the color red.
Yeah,
so,
very true.
And that's amazing if you can pull off something like that. Okay, then I have to go to Hex and copy this one. I'm going to paste it in there, so it's the same color. All right, great. Then we're going to add a button with a call to action right underneath here. Let's see. Then we have to see whether we want to use this one for that or the other color. I am kind of worried that this blue might be a bit too saturated and that it will be hard to read.
Yeah, true.
So I'm just going to see. Yeah, that might be a bit.
Yeah, a little too bright.
Let's try this for now. Okay. Now it says click here. That's not what we're going for. So we'll say download now, and maybe we can add a nice icon something like that in there. Add a little bit of spacing. Now, your brand is really, it's all about softness, about roundness. You have these bold headlines. At the same time, everything is rounded, so it's really friendly. So I'm going to round off the borders of this button as well.
Yeah, perfect.
To make sure that idea will be translated visually too. And then I'm going to change the font here to Ubuntu, which is the font that's also used in the logo. Then I'm going to make that one bold, so a weight of 700. And I'm going to add a little bit of spacing between everything. So a padding here on the bottom of 20. Same here at the bottom. All right, great. Now we'll add your logo in a second, so to say. We'll have to do that separately because that's a header and this is just the page. So we'll come back to that later. We'll continue building the page for now. So I need some final improvement, some final approval for this part of the page. So how are we on this one?
Yeah, I think it's just amazing how all those little changes. I'm sure if my video was still on, you would have watched my face go, "Wow, isn't that neat?" round the edges and how much more that communicates to someone, which is exactly what my brand is. That's really neat. So yeah, I think I'm liking the colors so far.
All right, great. Do you know what I also love about this image, by the way, the background image, is that this blue, it's blue and purplish, and the aqua color that we had, that's also in the background. So these colors are all represented in the image as well, which is nice.
Very nice.
All right, great. Now then I'm just going to go to the copy real quick, and then it says some facts about anxiety. And then we have these 3 bullet points. To make it easier for the eye, we're going to add 3 bullet points, and I'm going to start off with that, and then we're going to add the heading later. We're going to use some icons. So an icon box there. If my Elementor will allow me to do that. Yes, it will. It's very generous. Content, we're going to align everything to the left because we're fancy like that. And we're going to copy the first bullet point just like that. All right, so icons represent, we basically need to find an icon that in an abstract way represent what is being said. At the same time, it is a way for us to guide the eye of the viewer of this page through all the information. So it's really easy to read because our brain is just better wired to connect text to images than it is to connect and separate text if it's all text. So these icons are a way of pretty much pinpointing certain things and grouping things together so it's easy to read. And we're going to use the icon library here. And then we need to find something that represents it's normal to feel anxious. And you can still see my screen, right?
Yes, yeah.
I hear that you're getting, you're popular, that you have some notifications in the background.
No, my computer needs an update. It's trying to tell me. No, we'll update that later.
Give me some space. Yeah. They really want you to update from time to time. It's part of it. So I got a Canadian leaf here. That's maybe not what we're going for, but it does look nice.
Yes, it does. Yeah, I wonder what is going to be a good symbol.
It's normal to feel anxious. Yeah.
I almost feel like something like even just an image of like a brain or something soothing, like water is very soothing. Something to kind of invoke, calm or nature. Something that is natural, like it's okay.
Oh, well, how about a leaf?
Sure. Yeah, that works.
And otherwise we'll pick a lemon. When life gives you lemons. All right, great. So I'm going to catch this color here again. There we go. It's very normal to feel anxious. And then I'm going to the styling. All right, great. Have the title in the same color again. And then of course in our favorite font, which is Ubuntu today. I'm not being consistent with my favorite fonts because it's different every live stream.
This is our favorite today.
Exactly. I have very temporary favorites. They have to work hard for it to you know,
to earn their place.
Exactly, to stay on number one, stay on top. All right, great. It's very normal to feel anxious. Now, that's good to know. Let's move on to the next one then. Then I'm going to copy the next part. It can make you feel vulnerable, and it's okay to find support for ourselves. Good. All right. We can say this one, for example. Maybe. Do you agree?
What is it? It's a little bit blurry on my end.
Oh, okay. So it's a little suitcase. It's a medikit or a med kit, depending from what part of the country you are.
I'm also wondering about like shaking hands or
Let's see if they have that.
yeah, like connection, like finding.
Oh, they have shaking hands.
Sure, let's use that.
This one is a bit harsh to me. Let's see if there's another one. If I say connection, you'll have this one, which fits the thing more, I guess. Ooh, that's a bit too abstract.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe let's try that medical kit one, see how it looks.
All right.
I think that kind of invokes like hospital more so, but I mean, it might be our best option.
Medkit, there we go.
That one still feels a little bit like hospital to me.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, even like just a face, like talking, communication. I wonder what they've got for.
Oh, how's this one actually? Let's see. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not bad.
That's good.
Yeah.
Let's copy it once more. Duplicate. And move it over. All right, great. Now one thing I noticed is that maybe I want to just make this black that is now a kind of purplish as well. Maybe just a little bit softer because it really pops from the screen. But we'll see whether we can fix that with the background color as well.
Sure.
We'll just continue building the page for now, and we'll do a review afterwards to see whether we want to improve it. And then finally, with the right tools, well, there we go, tools.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
There we go. All right,
Perfect.
great. And I'm going to add the heading. Same style, same color. Gonna get that out of the coolers page. Now for the people who are trying to follow along, I'm sorry, but we're trying to get everything done fast-ish, so we're not here for 5 hours. And to give you an idea of what to look for when building a page. If you want to go in a full depth tutorial, let me know, then I'll make one. Because I can talk about this all day. Or at least that's what people tell me.
Well, it's really interesting, like even as an entrepreneur, this is stuff that's new to me, is building a website and what about branding and colors. And I know what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know that I want to help people heal. I know that I've specialized in trauma treatment, and this is, you know, passion of mine because I've been through these things. But now how do I build a website? How do I translate that through images and colors? It's just, it seems like a science, like it's like an art form. That it's something brand new to me. So just to see it, clicking and happening so fast, and all these things that we want to get across coming now up on a web page, it's really clear, it's really open and honest, it's comforting already. The colors are nice. It's just amazing how quick and easy it can be. If you meet someone who knows what they're doing and they're passionate about it like you are, it can be really easy to build pages like this.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, is that these things can be really fun, but at the same time they can be really annoying. We actually are working on an ad, and it's just a bunch of screaming people, and it ends with me saying something along the lines of, here at APs we spend hours screaming at our laptop so you don't have to.
Oh, that's perfect. So true.
Honesty is the best way, right?
Yeah.
All right, let me see. I'm going to add some padding here. This is going to be a challenge as always. So let me see if I can do it the right way. No, this is not what I was looking for. Maybe something like this. 70, 60. 60 looks nice. I'm going to go for 60 today.
Sounds good.
Same here. And as you can see, this kind of adds some white space, and white space really helps with making the page a little bit calmer.
Yeah, it does. It's interesting.
So if you feel like your page is a bit... If you were watching your own landing page one day and you think, oh my god, there's so much happening, just add some white space. People will appreciate it. You're doing the world a favor.
I always thought that, having too much space, is someone going to keep scrolling through if they notice blank space?
People don't really care much about space.
Okay.
At least if there's like one full screen size of white space, then maybe not. But you can push it pretty far actually. And that's something that I do because it really makes it easier on the eyes. It really helps people, to find the things they're looking for more easily.
Yeah, easier on the brain. Well, that's neat. Yeah, I really like that.
Okay, well then we've just finished another section. I just realized that I kind of muted myself for a second there. On
I
your
was
Zoom
thinking,
call.
oh dear, is that my
What?
end or your?
No, that was mine. My my cursor just popped up to the other screen for a second. Okay, great. I'm just going to select this one so you can see this one better. So, some facts about anxiety. All right, great. I'm actually going to have some white space beneath this one as well. Maybe about 30. There we go. Okay, great. So now we have that section done as well. Anything you would like to change right now?
No, not for now.
Okay,
good.
Great. Then we'll move on to the next part of your page. We're going to take a look at the copy, and this is your story. Now, for stories, we like to put the text on the left side, the copy, and put the image of the person who is telling the story on the right side, unless there's no image of that person, but that is recommended, just so people have a nice visual thing to take a look at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see. Ubuntu.
While you get this started, I'm just going to put myself on mute quick, and I'm just going to grab a drink. I'll be right back.
All right, perfect. All right, good. So I'm going to find a way here to make sure that we get the entire story across well in a way that's easy to read. And maybe we'll add a heading as well for the people who don't really feel like reading the entire thing. Because it is, of course, kind of long for a landing page maybe, but it is a nice way of telling the story. So we're just going to leave it in there. And we might, now that we're taking a look at it on the official page, see whether we want to keep everything or whether we might want to throw some stuff out, shorten it a bit to make sure that it is still digestible at a glance. Okay, great. Now, I'm just going to go into Photoshop because I know that I actually have cut out a picture of Jenine here previously. So let me see. We're going to go to Photoshop and then I'm going to open the thumbnail picture for this live stream actually, because that's where I cut out that image. This is called recycling, I guess. But it is very useful for this page, so we're just going to put it on there.
I am back.
Hi. I'm glad to have you back. What kind of drink did you get?
Oh, I just needed some water.
Some water. Ah, nice. You are out of the second bottle already?
I don't know. I drink a lot of water, just of water.
Yeah. You just have to make sure that you keep hydrated, of course.
Exactly.
It's very important. For everyone that's listening, take a moment to take some water.
Stand up,
wait.
stretch.
Sort of. Exactly. Maybe I might do that as well, actually, because I feel like my butt is kind of... oh, yeah, that's a lot better. I'm just going to... I think I positioned the camera today so that I could actually stand up. So that's nice.
Perfect. Yeah, it looks good on my end.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead then. All right. So as you can see, I changed a couple of things. Actually, maybe I should check whether this is the right font size as well. Yeah, it is. First of all, the font size, I have made it 25 pixels, which is relatively large. But because it's relatively large, it's easier to read. And this also helps with calmness, you know. It is, when we see a bunch of small text, it stresses us out already. And that's exactly what we're trying to prevent here.
Well, I wonder if that's why I was drawn to larger text for my website. I hated the small font, so I made everything bigger.
Well, there you go. You now have an explanation of why you might have done that.
My unconscious was making good choices.
Exactly. Thanks, unconscious. That's intuition awakening right there, right?
Yeah, exactly. It all fits.
Awesome. Jenine, I just realized I actually already cut out your image, but as I was doing that, I kind of felt like, okay, you have sent me another picture, and for this particular purpose, I like that one better. So we're going to do some live cutting out of a picture right now.
Sure.
If my Photoshop will stop crashing.
Oh no.
Technical difficulties. Now that's nice, because that means that we have some time to take a look at this story, because that's a lot of text.
Yeah, that was my thought as well.
Yeah. So let's see whether we can remove some of it. We're gonna go into the copy section for that, because it looks great if you write it down and when you read it out loud. So that's nice, but at the same time, there's some things that might need to go. So I was drowning in it. Well, that's nice to create a nice image of what it might have felt like, but we've already said that you were dealing with anxiety and that you were scared of leaving your house. The medication information, that might help to... and I think that I didn't enjoy anymore. I think that this kind of gets the point across already. Whoa. Okay. Well, this is the image that we're going to use. I don't know how... I was just about to say so. I don't know how that got there, but... perfect. Yeah, exactly. So you guys know what I'm going to going to edit later.
All right, that was my dog in the background.
All right, nice. Okay, great. Maybe I became passionate about Reiki, and since the time I became a certified Reiki master. Should we say I became passionate about Reiki, or does the sentence "since that time I became a certified Reiki master" tell enough of that story?
Yeah, I think we could shorten that one. I think that's okay.
Okay, great. The shorter, the better sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't put essays.
Sorry. I always got into trouble with that in English class, was writing too much in my paragraphs. What words are needed.
I had the exact same problem.
Yep.
And then also, how many paragraphs? I think that my texts were just too long in general. Even in my final exams, like for my history exam, I think I wrote about 12 pages.
Oh my gosh. I
studied everything, and I was like, now you guys will know that I studied, you know, that I tried.
If I can just touch on every single thing that I read and learned, I'll cover all my bases.
And then I still barely passed.
Yep, that's when you start getting docked marks for the teacher having to read it for 3 hours. Shout out to all the teachers out there who are doing their best to try and get us all educated and through COVID times. And thanks for all the teachers for reading all of my English exams. There, that looks better already.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Well, then I can go to Photoshop. I can remove this one. Because the reason why I said, okay, maybe I should go for the other image, is that the image that we actually have in a thumbnail, and maybe I can just show it. Here, there we go. That's a thumbnail for today. That one looks nice, but it has yellow in it, and yellow really clashes with purple.
Yep, we haven't used yellow.
We haven't used yellow, exactly. So we're just going to go ahead and open it in Photoshop, your other picture, which we just briefly saw in the browser, because it kind of felt like that needed to be there. Okay, great. So if you don't mind me today, I'm just going to do this rather lazily. I'm going to use this tool here in Photoshop. It's called the Quick Selection tool. Great. And then maybe make it a little bit bigger. Maybe even a bit bigger than that. And then I can just kind of select the background here, if everything goes right. All right, great. And I have to make sure that I don't cut out half of your shirt.
Yeah.
Because that would be very unfortunate.
Yeah, I just don't have an arm.
Today you don't have an arm anymore. I'm sorry, Jenine.
Photoshop doesn't like it.
Photoshop didn't approve of you having an arm. And that's
my beautifully painted wall.
Yeah. I mean, it does look cool.
I still love that wall. I painted that in my new house. It was a lot of fun. It was very messy.
Yeah, it looks nice and icy.
It's a lot of fun to create. But for our website, it does not hold a purpose, so we'll get rid of it.
I think I've been a bit too rough on some spots, but that's okay. We're going to do this the cowboy way, so to say, you know? I'm just imagining right now how a cowboy would do Photoshop, and that's the way I'm doing it right now. Just like, yeehaw!
Going fast.
Going fast, exactly. Just using the lasso tool. Take everything out. There we go. Then I always cut out this part of your face. Maybe I should take your glasses back a bit. Apparently Photoshop decided it was part of the background.
Yeah, doesn't like my glasses.
It's really rude. Software can be really rude sometimes.
It always blows my mind. I wonder how the program decides what is to keep and what is to go. I'm just not that tech savvy to understand how it works.
Well,
It's very cool.
it detects it based on a couple of things, and one of the things is luminosity. Is that a word? Yes, I think so at least. And it pretty much just sees, okay, well, this part of the image is darker, so these sections probably belong together. It also looks at the colors, so it just groups part of the images together and then selects it.
Cool.
And it's becoming better and better at it. In the future, we'll just have like a tool where we can just say remove background, and that will be the end of it.
I remember playing with this program as a kid, like for school projects, and my goodness, the way it used to just you had to take a lot of time to get it right. But this is actually that chunked out quite a bit of the background correctly.
Exactly. Now the hair is always the hardest part for this thing. That's always the case. But you can't have everything in life. I always just use a really small brush. That's 1 pixel, and then I just kind of give it an idea of what it might want to do here. It's actually, if you do this a little bit, this is a pro tip. If you do this even a little bit with hair, it will make it more believable, even if you cut it out really badly.
Did not know.
So if you ever have to cut out an image, just add like these couple of lines where you cut out some of the hair, and then bring some of it back later. That's what we're going to do as well. Bring some hair back later, and then it will look like you actually put in some effort trying to cut everything out, even though in fact this is a live stream and we don't have time for that. So
It's kind of neat.
because this is a really therapeutic kind of thing, you know, you can just do this for hours.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you were a little OCD, you'd have a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like I'm not enough, I think. Every time I have to cut out something for the thumbnail as well, I do it the same way. Just how quick can I cut out something?
Yeah.
It's becoming kind of a challenge. Not sure whether that's a good thing, but
Personal challenge.
personal challenge. I mean, there's probably going to be 5 people who noticed, oh, well, this is not cut out as cleanly as it could have been. So
Yeah. But for the majority. Yeah.
for the 5 people that care, I'm sorry.
We apologize in advance.
I'll put a disclaimer for the next video.
We've let them down.
I'm sorry, we didn't have time to cut out the thumbnail properly. We'll do better next time. But actually, we won't. All right, great. Well, I think that this is, as the French say, good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure whether the French actually say that, but
Probably
they might.
say it in French.
They say a lot of stuff in French. It's something I noticed hanging out with French people, that they say a lot of stuff in French. It's really annoying, actually. It makes them really hard to understand.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of French, even though I grew up in Canada and it's our second language. I know a few things, but not anymore. I've lost a lot of that knowledge.
Yeah, same. I had French for 6 years in high school, and it just kind of, the knowledge kind of disappears after a while, I guess.
Yeah, if you don't use it, you lose it, right?
That's true. Even though I try to use it, then still. When I was in France, like I think I had about a 25-minute conversation with my cab driver, and it was just trying to make me understand one sentence, which was that he was going to park in another place than what we had agreed on, because then he didn't have to pay for parking.
Oh no!
And whether I was okay with that. And I was just like, je ne comprends pas. But in the end, I got it. It took some time, but in the end, I got it. There we go.
You're right. When you zoom out, it looks nice.
We just removed some backgrounds. Okay, let me say, we're going to call this Jenine Boser profile picture, let's say. That's a good name. All right, good. This is really nice standing up. I might want to do this more often standing up.
There you go.
Well, I just made a new discovery, so thanks for that.
And it's good exercise. It's sitting is the new smoking, don't they say?
Yeah.
It's good for you.
It is. But you shouldn't stand the entire day either, because then...
Nope, then
that's the same problem.
It's just as bad. Exactly. It's finding the balance.
Everything is about balance.
Which is what my business is about as well.
Exactly. What a coincidence. I did a live stream for 4 hours and 45 minutes. I think it was on Sunday. Yeah, that was intense. I'm not doing that again probably, but
no.
we got some stuff done, so that was nice.
That's good. It's a very long time.
Oh. I think that's like the mental equivalent of just running a marathon.
Yep. That's a very long... I don't know how teachers can lecture for 3 hours either. It's a very long time to talk.
And then multiple times a day as well.
Mm-hmm.
They must like their stuff or something.
Yeah, you have to have passion for it.
Yeah, or you just say do your homework and then do that. That's also called teaching. If I remember correctly. Okay, we might want to add a heading there later. Now, I'm not sure what to put there yet, because we haven't actually written that down in the copy before. So we're just going to...
say something like, my story?
Well, what you want to prevent is to describe what is going to be in the paragraph. So, basically, what we want to use the headings for is so people get an idea of the page, of what's on the page, without having to read everything. So the headings should tell something about the paragraph, and at the same time be part of an overall story arc that if people would only read the headings, that would have been enough.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Everything's on the same line. Okay, good. We're just going to leave this one for now, and we're going back to the design nitty-grittiness when we've put in the biggest details, so to say, the most important details. Let me see. Copy. Then we have a toolkit to make you feel calmer and more present that you can take anywhere. Just going to copy this heading right here. All right, nice. Oh, it should be here. There we go. And then I think even that we might, this calming, it's a nice subheading there. All right, cool. So what's going to be the next step once you have finished this landing page? Are you going to go ahead and make the anxiety relief meditation course, or have you thought about the advertising already?
I've given it a little bit of thought about kind of how I would want to see an ad on Facebook. I have the meditations created. I actually already had one person try the download. I had tried to see if I could replicate this on Wix, and just to see, can I build a landing page on Wix? What's it going to look like? And somebody found it already, which was exciting. So I have one download. So now I need to, I think Wix has some limitations as to how I can really keep track of my emailing list. So
Mm-hmm.
right now, it only has shown me that someone subscribed. And I
Mm.
really have to click into that particular person to see that it came
Wow.
from Wix Music, which is how they were sent the link to the meditation. So it's a
Wix
little bit
Music.
of a, it's a little, yeah, it's like an add-on. So, if you have a music library or a product library, it kind of says, this person came from this page. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they clicked subscribe on this page or gave you their contact information, but it's going to be a bit of a manual process. But yeah, I think I'd like to try a 2-week Facebook ad locally. Is somewhere I think that was kind of next on my target list, was to find people in the city here that I could see for services.
Mm-hmm.
And especially over Christmas time, give people a bit of a relief or a bit of a break if they're needing one, especially while COVID's, people aren't allowed to go see their families now here in the province as easily. There's new restrictions happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's something I'd like to do next, is create the Facebook ad so that it would lead them to this page so that they can download it. And like we had talked about over the last few videos, I do also have parts 2, 3, and 4 created to this meditation series, so
Okay,
that
great.
when someone does download the first one, then I
Mm-hmm.
can send them a follow-up email a couple days later to say, hey, how was it? And if you enjoyed it, for I can't know, I don't remember if I've decided on like $3 or $5, just a very small amount to
Mm-hmm.
say, this is the next, you know, for this minimal investment here, you get 3 more meditations. Are you interested in that? So that would be my next steps.
All right. Cool. Very cool. So there are a couple of things that we might want to do with that. One of the things is to make sure that you will have an email list that will, work, that you can
Yeah.
use well, that's easy to use. If I remember correctly, MailChimp is free for the first 2,000 subscribers, so that will get you to some place to start off with, which is nice.
Hmm.
So you can get started with that, and we can do an integration for that maybe today, and otherwise we'll have to do that later or after the live stream, whatever might be the case. It's more of a question of signing up than anything else.
Okay, cool. I'll give that a look later.
Can take a look at it after we've done this particular part.
Hmm.
Needs. I'm trying to find in the meantime a nice representative icon of needs. I see here a spoon.
I wonder as well, like when I think of needs, I know we've talked about, how there's so many of them. I don't know if there's something like bubbles or circles to kind of represent, you know, having a number of needs, like having a bunch of them. I don't know what we would call it.
Let's see. Or
Maybe not.
we can have a spoon
Sure, let's see
to
how that one looks.
signify. That looks a bit weird.
Yeah, I
That
wonder,
looks
like,
a bit weird.
hmm. So I think you've already used the heart, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Something else. Okay. Um, Needs. Like we have basic needs like freedom and hope and belonging, safety, connection, accomplishment.
This one actually. Let me just duplicate this one. I'm going to be a little bit creative with things here, I guess. Learn to understand your needs. I feel like this breathing icon fits more with the deep breathing exercise than with
Yeah,
what I've now
actually, if
used
we
it for.
flip-flop those, I think that would be appropriate. Yeah,
Yeah.
flip-flop the icons.
Okay, let me see. Okay, good. Then it still says some facts about anxiety here. Of course, we would have to change that. Learn how to signal to your body that you're safe using deep breathing. Okay, yeah, but we are looking here for a toolkit to feel calmer and more present that you can take anywhere.
Yes, yeah.
There we go. All right, that's the structure of the website so far. Let me see if we can continue one final section, which is the call to action. And then we can get into making everything prettier and more clear using visuals. I'm just gonna grab a chair now that the real work is about to begin. There we go. Download my free meditation and experience calm today. Just going to align this one in the middle. And then I'm going to say download now. Great. There's going to be a button. Let's just copy this button because that's a nice button.
It is a very nice button. I quite like it. It's funny how you can really fall in love with things in your business as simple as buttons.
Someone has to do it, you know. Yeah. Your audience probably isn't going to care, so
I will love the button.
Exactly. Even buttons need love.
Yes, they do.
There we go. Center it. All right, great. So let's see what we can do about all of this. I'm going to update it, and then a toolkit to feel calmer and more present that you can take anywhere. Nice. Maybe we can have a nice image here on the side. That might work nice. So we're just going to see whether we can find one to begin with. But it's always nice. It's always good to try.
I agree.
I'm just going to put all of that here. There we go. This one. And this one. And maybe can your browser or your laptop, can your laptop handle to open a browser? Because I don't know if you can go to Envato and maybe look up some nice images that might be good here.
I'll also I'll try it on my phone here, so hopefully my laptop doesn't.
For the sake of Murphy's Law. Yeah, anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Exactly. I'm almost envisioning, like, if we're going to be using, like, saying this toolkit, like finding kind of like a toolkit. I have something in mind. It's almost like a women's cosmetic bag or like a makeup bag, like something that's kind of soft fabric, but you've got all your different tools in it. Especially because my target audience is women. I wonder if that might be kind of meaningful to them.
At the same time, we don't want to make things too literal, of course.
Yeah.
Because it's still a metaphor. Otherwise, people might be confused. Like, am I literally going to get a bag?
This is true. Yeah, so it's almost like maybe just a photo of different tools or like different brushes, or kind of to signify, like, in an abstract way that these are your different tools.
Mm-hmm. That could
for
be
women. Yeah, for women, tools are often makeup. It's your different brushes. It's your different, pigments and powders and.
All right, cool. Let me see. I'm going to take a look as well.
Sure.
Open a nice new tab. Elements. All right, cool.
I found this one, so here would you prefer if I send the link to you like via WhatsApp? Is that going to be okay?
Let's do that. Yes.
Okay. So I'll do that, and I'll just keep Googling here. That's just one image that I just kind of piqued my interest, but by no means do we have to use it. So it's just kind of...
Let me see. Maybe if I look for meditation in office to signify the anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Photos. There are 216 pictures of that, and most of them are people in suits, by the looks of it.
Yeah, I just typed in meditation on hill just to give it a try. Looks like there's people on, you know, kind of in a different landscape, something you could practice anywhere. When I think of anywhere, I almost think of like traveling or exploring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
But
Maybe
also
at an airport.
Yeah, that's where I think of. I did a lot of meditations on the way to India last year to try and keep me sane while traveling. Yeah, I used
I can
the
see why, yeah.
meditations and all of the Griffin and I, for those who don't know, we met on a trip to India last year. And
this is very, very important information. I just realized to understand
yes,
the
yes,
jokes here.
We've talked more before today. We've known each other for the last year or so, and it's yeah, we met in India, and on the way there from Canada, it was about, I think it was about 28 hours of traveling by the time all was said and done. And I had a 5-hour layover at one airport, and then a 3-hour layover in London, which was the equivalent of 10 seconds. It was not enough time.
You just have to run.
Yes,
just have to run.
Catch the bus, and you catch your breath on the bus, and then you keep going.
Yeah. No, traveling can be exercise.
It is. It really is. Those airports are huge. India, I will never forget just the sheer length of the airport. And then, of course, I went to the wrong end. I went to the domestic terminal instead of the international terminal and had to walk all the way back. So I was talking about language barriers and cab drivers before. Yeah, that was an experience. Still not quite finding this meditation kind of picture that I'm looking for here. Let me think.
Yeah, I'm having the same issues here.
Yeah. I'm just gonna Google, or sorry, look up maybe like anxiety or something, see if there's anything that kind of... I still want this along the same lines.
I have someone meditating in an office, so that might work. Here. And then this one as well.
You know what? I wonder if we could find one that's because we know we talked about Anna, who's our kind of ideal person, the ideal client. She has kids. I wonder if we could find something that shows like a busy mom with kids hanging off of her. Mom with kids photos. Let's find.
Yeah, good one. Very good one.
Yeah, so that they could be meditating. You know, it's 10 minutes. You can take time out even with the kids.
Yeah, very good one.
Busy kids.
I'm going to see whether there's actually a picture of them meditating together.
Oh,
because
nice.
I'm pretty sure that I've seen that on here before.
Yeah, there's a few. And of course, all of these photos online are like just the idealistic mother. I'm like, yeah, I've never seen a child sit like that in my entire life.
Exactly. Perfect world, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
That should be a disclaimer as well. Life can't be like a stock photo, guys.
Yeah.
It's not real.
It is not. Even just to see if I could find something that would be better matching, I typed in toddler screaming to see if I could. Nope, all the children are still smiling and happy. I don't know many toddlers that sit still like that. These photos are lying to us.
Toddler screaming. Okay, nice. Very nice.
Just thinking of my ideal client. She's going to be a busy mom. She's going to have lots of, maybe I should type in pets too, because I know my dog is currently laying like on my foot, not letting me move. She's being such a big baby because I'm ignoring her on a Zoom call. So pet moms are also a real thing.
How's this picture?
Oh, that's nice too. Yeah, because she's busy. She's anywhere. And hopefully, just even 10 minutes. If you can just keep little buddy busy with a TV show or something for 10 minutes so you can meditate.
Exactly. Okay, great. I'm going to license this one.
Cool.
And then what I would like to do is to have that as a background, a really large background image here. Use some white to make sure that everything is still legible. And then put the icons on top of it. And then
okay.
have this one again in white probably. Then let's see if we have to break any part of the page apart from that. I don't think that will be necessary, but we'll see whether that will be the case or not. But I was thinking, because this icon here that you used in here for your logo, maybe we can make a pattern out of that, and then we can just have that in the background as well for this last part.
Yep.
That might look nice, but let's first see.
And that little icon, it's called a lotus. It's,
a lotus.
Representative of the lotus flower. And that one's often, you'll see it on yoga pages or meditation pages. It's a symbol for a lot of kind of alternative medicine practices. So I think it kind of works with the bold colors and things too. So at least it's kind of a little bit of familiarity when people see it. That's what it reminds people of, is, you know, yoga or relaxation. And that's...
All right, awesome. Then I know how to refer to it. Thank you.
Yeah, if you want to Google it or find something similar, that's what it's called.
Lotus, awesome. Okay, great. Maybe I should reverse it. And let's see if that works. Okay. Very interesting. That was not what I was going for. Let's bring the opacity down a bit.
Yeah, I'm thinking it might still be nice to have that laptop kind of visible.
Yeah. At the same time, I need to make sure that people can see the text as well. Everything is balanced.
That's the hard part with photos. I enjoy trying to find, you know, it's amazing what you can do with just a few little tweaks. It doesn't have to be much, but it's just enough to bring the colors out or to fade them or to help make things more readable and easier on the eyes for people. It's all about how can we make this easiest on the brain, right?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. How can we make this piece of content as consumable as possible?
Yep.
Easily digestible, I guess. We're the raw food of digital marketing here. Okay, great. Let me see. Great, we still have a bit of the laptop. I'll move some of it here out as well. There we go. And then at the same time, I need to make sure that this bottom part is kind of white as well. So we have a nice flow of everything. I feel like half of my job is painting.
Yeah, Photoshop.
And then just exactly, just kind of painting white pieces of whatever you might do, white brush strokes to make sure that people can still read the text that will be on top of it.
You're half graphic designer, half like psychologist or someone who is very expert on how the brain functions and how to make things accessible. And
you just gotta collect all the information that you need. All right. let's see. Is everything still working? I see that my laptop is starting to have a little bit of trouble here. Yes, awesome.
No, it's not allowed.
It's not allowed. Okay, good. Can I do this? Or does it need to think then? I think it needs to think then. It has a little bit of trouble with these things. Okay, then I'm just going to back to the browser for a second, and we're going to look through all of that. Cool. A toolkit to feel calmer and make you and more present that you can take anywhere. We're going to add this image to it. Then we're going to make this one a bit bigger. And in the meantime, while Photoshop is loading up again, we might have some time to take a look at MailChimp. I have to take some of that stuff away as well, I think. Make sure that I don't overload my browser with information, because then everything will slow down, and that will be the end of it.
Yeah, won't
It'll
do
be
that.
very unfortunate. There
We've
we
come
go.
so far.
Exactly. Great. Okay, cool. So let me show you MailChimp. It's already there. Great. So MailChimp is a marketing tool that you can use to build email lists. It now does other stuff as well. I personally still only use it for that. But yeah, get your business online. Oh. This used to be so much easier. Let me check the pricing real quick to see whether they're still free for people that have a small audience.
True. Yeah, I find Wix that I feel like I could make it work, but it does seem to be a little clunkier than what I'll need. Well, there's that one that says free, but I can't read what the standards are.
Yeah, so free here. This is basically everything you need. So that's great. One audience, 2,000 contacts. Well, I think that should be enough for now. Let's, for the sake of this, just sign up and see what happens.
Sure.
And let me see whether Photoshop... Oh, yeah, Photoshop has decided that it will allow us to do some stuff again. Very generous. Very generous.
We send many gratitudes to Photoshop today.
Exactly. To the Photoshop gods. So, yeah. Sometimes it does feel like that. Oh, no, I changed something. Now it is having some trouble again. Hope the Adobe gods will be good with us.
Yep.
Okay. Let me have a look. What is the easiest way to go about this? Okay, we're going to call this, well, Intuition Awakening. Is this username taken? No. Awesome.
Getting lucky with that username right now, or that domain name, which is great.
Awesome. Yeah, you are. Do I have anything on this email address? Sign up. No. We can change the email address later, so that's good.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Then, but then at least we have we have something now, or at least that's the idea. Good.
Perfect.
This one has started working again. Photoshop. Export. We're going to export this image, so we can put it into your landing page. It's really big, so let's fix that. 1920 pixels should be enough. And export. Oh, it is thinking again. Well, that gives us some time to see whether MailChimp will work one day. Alright, good. I have to activate it with this button here that you can't see because of privacy reasons. And there we go. Then we can set it up. course we want a free plan. Come on, MailChimp.
It's just gotta ask.
Exactly. Am I spelling your last name correctly?
I can't see it right now, but it's Boser.
Okay, I'll show you. There we go.
Yes. Now let's see if I can see it. It's a little bit blurry on my end at sometimes, and that's okay. I trust you.
It should be fine. I always, the first time that I tried to spell your name, I did it with an A and a U, and I don't know why.
Where did the U come from? I've never gotten that before. That's fantastic.
It's very creative.
I guess, yeah, Jenine. Yeah, kind of makes sense. An A
No,
and a U.
not your first name. Your last name.
Oh, the last name.
A U. I don't know why.
Yeah, okay, I guess. Yeah. I've had many different spellings of my name over the years. It's been all over the place. Just one of those names, especially because my parents decided to spell it differently than most people. So something that happens.
Yeah. No, I have had similar experiences because, you know, when I was growing up, people didn't give English names to their children.
This is true.
So I was really shy. So every time that I had to introduce myself to a new class in primary school, it was like, yeah, my name is Griffin, and they would like, Kevin, is your name Kevin? And I'm like, no. Well, what is it then? And I'm like, I don't know.
Poor little child standing in front of a room like crying. I just want someone to say my name right. Yeah, I know that.
Eventually I was just like, well, good enough, you know. Call me Kevin, whatever you like.
Call me whatever you want. Yep.
Ooh, that changed things. How exciting.
I like the pink.
Yes, it is very very
I am
creative.
their target market already.
Yeah, exactly. You're doing great. This is exactly what I wanted. Okay. And I see that this image in the meantime is ready for export in Photoshop. So that's good. So we can import it in our browser. I know this is a modern woman with a child multitasking.
Perfect.
That's how they call it.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Very descriptive names. They did.
Oh yeah, definitely. Sometimes I am kind of surprised by how they name things. In the previous live stream that I did with Vegan Treasure Box, they had an image of a couple that was from every country they could think of. So they were, in one picture they were Chinese, in the other picture they were Korean, and in the next picture they were Japanese. They're like...
Hit all the target keywords.
I was just about to say, how does that work? Like, if you're not sure...
Yeah. That's just someone who said, just name it all. Let's just put it all there.
Yeah. This is SEO, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just got my SEO word list back from the company that's helping me out with my SEO, and yeah, they wouldn't be words that I would think of, but apparently they are words that that my target audience is using, so we're going to give them a try. But
what words do they want you to use?
There was 10 of them. Let me see. There was holistic approach, depression, trauma. Okay. I think they also did use Reiki, even though they wanted to get rid of that word because apparently Reiki is not a searched topic. So that leaves it very hard for me as a Reiki practitioner to find my people. It was kind of difficult. I think what else? I think there was like meditations but yeah, there were some of them I thought, okay, we're going to see how that goes. And like they do say, after 90 days, if you're not getting the people you're looking for, you're not getting what you want, then they'll redo an evaluation.
Okay, nice.
But what else? Yeah. Oh, integrated energy healing, naturopathy, body, mind, and spirit, anxiety and chakra. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I think they use these words as well for my blog, which was a big step. I thought I didn't want to create too big of a web page because I thought, well, I don't want 17 different pages, and Wix was having a hard time displaying all of the page names at the top. It was just wanting to put them into a menu,
Mm-hmm.
but now it seems that they've fixed that so you can actually clearly see at the top of my page that I have a blog, that I have, this anxiety relief page, that I have a book online page, and it's
That's
not
really
just
nice.
yeah, it's not just hidden in a menu. But so I had really tried to cut my pages back, and they said, no, actually, we don't want you to do that. We need more content on your site. So I had to go through the whole process of trying
We need more
to
content
create.
on your site. I mean,
Yeah,
I agree. I agree with blogs, but not just
yeah, not just
Otherwise,
random
not
pages.
just random stuff.
No, no, my original pages, I remember, like, I mean, you've seen my website through all stages of development, and yeah, I had paragraphs and paragraphs and essays of information. I feel like it's getting there. There's still some work I'll probably do even after today and learning
Mhm.
more about all of this. So, um, but yeah, it's an ongoing evolution of things to find that right presentation of your material and what makes you credible, how much is too much.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
yeah, it is. It really is.
Yeah, as an entrepreneur, that was something I never, I guess, because I didn't take entrepreneur courses in university. I mean, my
Mhm.
parents were both entrepreneurs, but that was when I was very young. By the time I was older, they had established businesses for 10, 15 years. And,
Mhm.
but in university, I studied human resources. That was my major.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it, but marketing, yeah, I have a very new appreciation for marketing and entrepreneurship courses,
Mhm.
just because now I'm having to learn all this stuff by scratch, or finding people like you and just asking a
Doing it.
lot of questions.
That's the way to do it.
Yep. And it was
That's
fun
the way
because
to do it.
now I have quite a few friends that are also in the kind of entrepreneurship. There's a lot of women I know that we're all trying to start businesses, and we're
Awesome.
really we're becoming resources for each other. So I had a friend yesterday who was looking to make a bit of an introduction to her podcast, but she didn't know where to start. So I said, hey, well, I got all this information from you and other people that have helped me make my meditations. So I was able to help her with that. And you grow your community that way. It's really nice.
Yeah, it is really nice. That's the way to do it. Awesome job. Okay,
Exactly.
well, we got here a toolkit to feel calmer and more present that you can take anywhere. With a nice baby there, you can still sort of see the laptop, so that's nice.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and everything is legible, which is also nice, in my
Hmm.
opinion, at least.
Yep. Good.
Okay, good. So then we're going to go ahead and see whether we can make a nice background out of the lotus. So I'm going back to Photoshop. Is this a way to do that? I don't know, but we'll see. If I just say something like lotus pattern, you think something will show up?
We'll see.
Let me see. Logo for Intuition Awakening. Awesome. And maybe it's fun actually if we add like a little audio player, but I don't know whether that will look nice. It's a
Yeah.
good experiment though.
Hmm.
So I'm just going to go to Elementor here and see whether that does look nice. I just realized that I prepped some more images, so I'm just going to see whether there's a need for that or whether I now think,
Yeah.
never mind, don't need those anymore. Intuition
Yeah.
Awakening, there we go, audio player. Okay. that's not bad.
Hmm. I've got that on my Wix site as well because that's what um, it's kind of a clunky download process through Wix, but I mean it does work. But it does have a preview. You
Yeah.
can set it so you can preview it or listen to the whole track, and then you could click download.
This is just an image.
Oh,
But I
okay, so
wonder,
they
I
wouldn't be able to.
wonder, yeah, exactly. I wonder whether it then will be a good idea to put it there, because if people think they can click it and they will be annoyed by it, then we might as well
Yeah.
leave it out.
Yeah, I think so. Because I'd want to click it as well. Be like, oh, there's a play button. I'll see what it sounds like. And I'm like,
Yeah,
why
yeah. This is so annoying.
Exactly.
Okay. That's something to think about.
Hmm.
Don't annoy your audience with fake buttons.
Yeah, I know. I was learning about that even with my intake forms. I was trying to have a bit of a form that people could fill out ahead of their appointments. But I know someone had said, what are your questions on that form? Are they turning away people? And it was something I just hadn't thought about. You know, how many questions do I want to fill out?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool what you just did, that it showed all the different color gradations. That's neat.
Yeah, that is neat. That's what I love about coolers. So I can just make a variation on white. Something like that. Maybe I do want it a bit lighter myself. Something like this. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it's nice and calm. I'd almost put that behind the story as well. I kind of like that color. Or if you'd like to just have it on one space, that's totally fine too.
We can try. We want to make sure that we break up the site nicely, and this might be a nice way to do that actually.
Yeah.
So let's see whether it works. I have to make sure that I do copy this color that I just created instead of the new one. Maybe I'll make it even a bit more pale than that. I don't know whether that was that much of a difference, but let's just roll with it. There we go. Change the background. I feel like this is becoming a bit too much.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Let's go back to white for this one.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah, it kind of sets it apart as well. I still think we need a title for that story. I just can't
I think
quite
so as well.
I wonder if, like, you know, 3 years ago, or I'm trying to think, like, yeah, what would be some words that are even in there to kind of, this is the story.
So basically what it leads to is that we created a toolkit to manage anxiety and to relieve it so you can get the most out of life. So we could, for example, say, get the most out of life.
Yeah, that's nice.
You know what would be nice actually? Because it's really your story, we would add a nice signature.
Yeah, yeah.
So we would have the signature, your signature, or a variation on your signature here at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. I do have an image of my signature. Would you like me to send that to you? Or is there some
I'm not
fancy
sure.
script we could use?
Maybe there is, because I'm not sure whether it is a good idea from a legal standpoint to have your actual signature on there.
Yeah, no, probably not.
Grace is not in this room today, so I can't ask her.
No, I don't think so as well. Probably wouldn't be advisable.
Let me see if there is, because I know that I used a certain font for it. Alexis, is that nice? Let's see. Because we don't want to get you into any trouble. Just
No.
because we want to make your site more personal.
Yeah, that's a little too personal. Put my home
Yeah.
address and personal phone number, put my social insurance number on there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to build trust with my customers. No, Janine, that's not how you do it.
Oh, I like this one actually. Okay, if this would just... Great. Awesome. Does it have anything else than regular? No, of course not. Okay. Great. I'm going to show you my Photoshop because I found something cool. Look at that. That's a signature.
Fancy, fancy.
Now you have an official fake signature, just like me.
Wonderful. I'm legitimate now. I have a fancy fake signature.
Exactly. That was something I realized the other day. I can't actually sign with my fake signature because I don't know how to do it because I have never made that image myself.
Oh.
Someone else designed my signature and then I had a problem.
Because I could even put that on my my website, and and my about me, and under photos or things like that. Yeah, it is a little bit of a personal touch because I do have a little welcome video that I created just to say
very nice.
This is what Reiki is. This is what you can expect out of a session. Because I found that with a lot of marketing that I like, it's videos. It's not necessarily text. So that's what I was trying to do for my own stuff. So yeah, I could add this to the little kind of signature box as well, or the little...
Awesome.
You know what I'm trying to say. The little area on my webpage, that's what I'm trying to say.
And with a nice signature. Always makes it personal. I'm going to quickly export your signature here. Signature Jenine. There we go. Put it in the Intuition Awakening folder. And then we're going back to the browser and see how that looks. There we go. This always reminds me of how I used to do my signature when I was in primary school. You just wrote your name.
Yep.
As good as you could, you know?
Yep.
And then when you at one point decided that you wanted to be an adult, then you just wrote your name, but then your surname as badly as you could.
Yes. My dad's signature was always interesting. He wrote basically almost horizontal, and you could basically just see a couple of bumps, and that was his signature. Like there was a line and a couple of bumps, but you knew it was his.
So it worked.
Perfect.
That reminds me of my dad's handwriting.
Yeah. Maybe it's a dad thing.
my dad's handwriting, just in general, his alphabet exists out of, I think, about 8 letters. It's just one continuous line. And when I was in high school and I had this little note from him to excuse myself from class, then like the concierge would not believe that it was actually written by my dad. So I was like, yeah, you can call him. You'll have to believe me.
Yeah.
I'm being legit here. Come on, give me a break. He knows about it.
Yep, exactly.
Up to the point where I just started making my own notes. And then they were like, well, he has very interesting handwriting, because I tried to make it look different from my own handwriting. As if they would know what my handwriting looked like.
Yep.
The memories. I think this looks cool.
It does. It looks neat.
That looks
Super
neat.
Professional.
Super professional indeed. All right. Let me see here. We're gonna have to make this one the same style as well, so to say. So let me see. This one would just go there to advanced and add some padding, because otherwise everything will be on a different line, and I don't like that. So doesn't need to be there on the top and not on the bottom either in this case, but that's nice. Okay, good. Very good. Great. And let's update it. Maybe here in this particular case we might want to let's see how it looks on the official page later. Okay, good. I think it's time for us to add a nice header
Perfect.
so you can actually see your logo on there as well. Going back to the dashboard. And then finishing touch, so to say. That's not a complete finishing touch, but hey.
The next step.
Exactly. Then at least you have a complete page. I've never seen anything load this slow. since 2012. I must add. I think that I've become increasingly impatient with internet.
Yes, yeah, you
Like,
would.
I think that in the old days, when a page was loading for a minute, I didn't even think about it. That was just the reality.
I know.
And now it's like, why does it take so long to load Google and it takes like 15 seconds?
I know. Do you remember the days of dial-up internet?
No, I'm a little bit too young for that, I think.
I know, you're a little bit younger than me. Yeah, I had dial-up internet for a number of years, especially because I lived on a farm.
Oh, yeah.
And you couldn't get high-speed internet until I think even a few years ago because you're too far away from a tower. You're just too far away from a local source of internet. So yeah, we had ExploreNet. That was the fancy farm internet, and we literally stood on top of our house roof. And the deal was that if you could see the lights at the grain elevator, this is the most Canadian farm story ever as I say it out loud. If you could see the lights on the grain elevator about 15 kilometers away in town, then you could get dial-up. You had a clear enough connection all the way to that highest point that you could get it. So we were up there on the roof, basically just making it happen, that we could see the lights. We weren't sure, we couldn't tell, but we were going to give it a try, and it worked out okay that we did end up being close enough that we could have ExploreNet internet, and we were pretty excited. It was still slow, but
yeah, this is an amazing part of history. If I remember correctly, my parents were like, the internet is not a good place for you to be, so they didn't really allow me to be on the internet until I was 12, I think.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't.
I think it's quite nice, because then I just started messing around with all these kind of softwares, and then I became really good at making designs in Microsoft Word, which kind of sparked my interest, later on in things.
Yeah, that was much the same for me. We had email. And solitaire, and like 4 or 5 other things. But yeah, everything.
Have you ever played like the Windows pinball thing?
Yes, that was like the best pinball ever. But
that was the dream.
Yes, it was. Dial-up was so much fun. We used to wait an hour to download a song, on LimeWire. And, the good old days. Yeah. I still do miss MSN Messenger. That was a pretty cool service.
Let's go back in time.
Oh yeah.
I think it still exists though.
MSN, does it still? If it does, so. I will be surprised. Maybe it's just because we have Facebook and everything else that we don't use it anymore. But
yeah, we kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, that was like the first time that I didn't have a cell phone yet. I didn't get a cell phone till I was about grade 9. I think I was about 15 or 16, and the only reason I got it was because I was driving. And our CB radios that we had in the farm trucks, which is what I grew up driving, they reached halfway to town, but they didn't reach all the way. So if my dad needed me to pick up parts after work, after school or something, he had to have a way to get a hold of me. So I got a cell phone. And it had no data on it. It was just texting. And you still had to press the keys 3 times to get to the right letter. And I'm sure if some younger people are listening, they have no idea what I'm talking about. That's gonna be fabulous. They'll be Googling it for hours.
The Nokia phones. Beautiful.
Yeah. Good old flip phones. And the Nokia ones, there were some that you could throw at the wall and they wouldn't break. Like those things were beasts.
Oh yeah. I literally tried that.
Yep.
I threw it from the first floor of my school just to see whether it would survive.
I feel like that was I don't mean to gender stereotype here, but I think that was a very boy thing to do. That seemed to be like, if I have a phone, I'm gonna try to break it. I remember that so much in high
I'm
school.
I'm not sure whether that's a boy thing to do. I think you might be right, though. I think that you might have a very good point.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever wanted to destroy my own phone, but there were a lot of, like my brother too, he'll throw it around or try to break it, and how tough is this phone kind of
Yeah.
mentality.
I knew it wouldn't break.
Yeah, exactly.
I knew it all along.
We used to have bag phones as well, they were called. The good old, really, really big phones that was like a full-sized phone receiver with like a little bag underneath that you could type numbers into, but it plugged into like the cigarette lighter, like in your vehicle.
Oh,
It was a farm phone, so you could take it out in the field and it would just pick up on a local tower if you could find one.
okay,
Um,
cool.
those were the original cell phones for us. It was a portable phone, but it still weighed like 3 pounds.
Wow.
They were huge.
Carry that thing around.
Yeah.
That must have been fun.
Yeah, and it could only stay in the car. You couldn't take it out. Like it was just, it was a mobile device, and the fact that you could drive with it in the vehicle, you didn't need to rely on the radio.
Yeah.
I'm aging myself a lot right now, and I'm not even 30 yet.
Love it.
Background commentary as you go through all your editing.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's perfect. That's what we need.
Fun.
Published. Perfect. Let's go back. Let's go back. I forgot to do some things in the in the header. It's always unfortunate. Then you think, I got it all, and then nope. We could have had it all.
I know, I keep thinking there's a song in there.
Yeah, yeah. There's always some live singing.
Yeah.
Oh, I still have some water. That's really nice, actually. Just getting thirsty.
I just ran out, so I'm gonna just pop out quickly and grab another glass of water. I'll be right back.
All right. See you in a bit. Or actually hear you, because of technical difficulties, we can't show your video. All right, let's wait for Elementor to load. Oh. Now I have to come up with a nice background, with some nice background commentary myself. But thankfully it has already been loaded. So with a set index in Elementor, you can make sure that you add certain elements on top of other elements. It's kind of stacking paper, and we're basically saying with the set index, by putting it to 99, that this one should have the priority. This one should be on top of everything. Then the height here is about 80. That's already more. Okay, cool. So the height here is 80, and I'm going to say minus 80 as a margin here, because I want to have the header transparent and to show the background image on the landing page on top of it. So let's refresh this page and see if everything works. Moment of truth. It doesn't. That's too bad. Entire side. Let's try front page. Save and close. If I refresh it now, will it work? Still doesn't seem to quite work yet. Let's see what I can do about that. Maybe it's in the settings of the page itself. It's often the case. Happened with Vegan Treasure Box as well. I feel like this is becoming a continuous issue for me, trying to figure out how to make the header work. At one point, I used to be good at it. Now, I don't know how headers work anymore. It's been too long, guys. You know, in the meantime, I might look up a nice story, a nice bedtime story. I know this web page is slowing down my browser. Tell a nice story about a king in a land far, far away while this is loading. Yes, I do know that this web page is slowing down the browser. Come on, you can do it. Sometimes tech things just kind of need some extra motivation. Alright. Interesting. Come on, you can do it. We'll just access it another way. See whether that works better. Go to pages. I see that you're back.
Yes, I am.
Edit with Elementor. I'm having some small technical difficulties here. My browser is finally giving up on me. He says, "Well, we've given you a couple of hours, you know."
Yeah, that's enough.
We're done. But I'm just trying to get the header to work, and then we have some time to wrap things up.
Perfect.
Loading. I know you're loading. Come on. Don't quit on me now. I know you can do it. And we're getting there, I hope. Maybe not.
Yeah,
Okay.
try our best.
Exactly. I'm going back to the overview page. I'm going to do something dangerous. I'm going to just completely exit everything. I can't exit everything, by the way. That doesn't work. I just realized, because then the stream doesn't work either. But that's the main problem here. Every time because usually you would just restart your browser or your computer, but that doesn't work in this case.
Nope.
So yeah, let's see if we can get this thing to work, and otherwise we'll have to oh, okay, I can edit the header, but that's not what I want to edit. Let's see if I can just go here. Just loading and loading. In the meantime, we can take a look at some things on the website itself, because that actually does work, or at least as far as I'm concerned. Last time I checked, it worked. Oh wait, this is not the right page. Intuition Awakening .io. There we go. My laptop is not helping me out here. Okay. So we got this one. See whether we can still edit it. And this one is loading. It's just a race between two tabs now.
You might hear my dog kind of making a fuss in the background. Sorry.
Give me some attention.
Oh, there's another dog walking by and she feels the need to protect her space.
Makes sense. Territory, right?
No, and it's funny because she's 90
gotta have it.
pounds, so she looks like a small bear when she gets really mad. She gets really puffy and big.
90 pounds, my God.
She's a big love bug.
It's like one of those dogs that still thinks it's a puppy, or what?
Yeah. She's not super cuddly. I think we've had too much time together during COVID. She wants her distance and to be have a little space from mom, but we live in the same house and I can't go anywhere. So she just
She's like, I've had enough of you.
Yep. She's just got to deal with it.
Okay, well, in the meantime, let's review what we've built so far. The header doesn't work. I'm trying to figure out why. I think I know why, but I can't access the page to change it. So we have here, calm and connected in 10 minutes. The first part of it with a download now. And we have the facts about anxiety. Get the most out of life. A toolkit to make you feel calmer and more present. and then finally this last part. So there's a couple of things that I would like to change here. First of all, the alignment is not quite on point everywhere, so this part here should be on the same line, of course, as the rest. And there's a white line in between here, which I don't particularly like, so we'll fix that as well. And then finally, this should be on the same line too. And once we got that done, I think that we are pretty much good to go for your page, which is great. And then you can use that one to launch. I'll connect it to intuitionawakening.com, and then you can use that one to advertise with.
Perfect. Now
let's see. I'll enable safe mode. Why not? How will you? Yes.
How will I kind of relate this to my website? Like, this is now going to be a completely separate web page, right?
Yeah, for now it will be. You can actually, as we will continue with these calls, we might just kind of move your website to this new system. Who knows? But you can just link. Maybe, I don't know whether that's possible in Wix, but maybe you can link a menu item to this page.
Yeah, I really haven't done much with it. I think I'm tied to Wix probably for the next year at least. So yeah, it'll be trying to find ways to. I love the idea that this landing page, it looks so good. Now it's just trying to make sure that I don't have more than one website, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I would like to direct people to my services as well. So it's wonderful that they'll download this, but it would also be nice if they could click on and say, oh, you know what? This looks kind of neat. Let me check out her blog, or, looks like she's got some other things on this page here. That makes sense?
It does make sense, but at the same time, you want to make sure that if you create a landing page, that everything is focused towards one goal. So it's really easy for people to understand what they have to do. That will bring you the most conversion.
Right, we've talked about that before.
Yeah, so in that sense, it's not bad that it's on a separate website for now, because, this is exactly what that does. It is all related to one goal, which is to download the meditation.
Okay.
And you can redirect them to your services later with the email marketing. But now they have a relationship with you. So that's really nice, because then, it becomes a lot easier to make sure that they actually take a look at it, instead of just kind of glimpse over it and might go through everything, but don't really, make a connection with you in the way that you would like to.
Yeah, like we've talked about, this is the funnel to get them to take that action, to start building that relationship, so it's got a very specific purpose.
Yeah.
So if this is, say in the future I wanted to create a meditation on another kind of one of the main symptoms of trauma, like, depression, or, do a bit of a talk, or, invite people to download another meditation, would I create another web page, or would we just repurpose this one? Would you create a separate link for them to go to another separate landing page?
Pretty much. So you can build as many landing pages as you want and as you need. And I would absolutely advise you to do that as well. Because it doesn't matter if you have a lot of specific landing pages. That's all okay.
Okay. Yeah, because they're targeting and getting them to go to one place, to do one action, to lead them down that path. Like you said, it's kind of like training them or helping them, along that path. Here's the next step. Here's what you do next. Here's what you do next. Giving them those step by step.
Make it easy for them. That's basically what it comes down to.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess versus going to a web page with a whole bunch of options, that leaves it quite open.
Exactly. Okay, I see now that this one worked again, so that's nice. I'm just going to add some, interesting, extra white space here. And here at the top maybe as well. I'm going to make sure that your image aligns to the bottom here. Then let me see why this one has decided that there should be some white space. Because I haven't signed up for that. I do not agree. I do not share that sentiment at all. Oh, interesting. Seems like this is not a problem then. No, it isn't. Interesting. Alright. Maybe this is... What just happened? Oh. Ah, okay. Makes sense. Okay. Come on, you can do it. It's a bit slow now.
It's taking its time.
Yeah, it needs some time today, apparently.
Well, I guess it is quite late into the evening your time, right?
Yes, it is. maybe it's sleepy, yeah. That could be the case. I wouldn't blame it. Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay, great. Actually, I want to have slightly more of this here. Just a bit more white space. Let's see if that works. It does. Wow. Let's see if it also works on the final page.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Just getting those last details. There we go.
Did that one still kind of indent?
Yeah, that one is still indented. That's completely correct. Let me see why. Why is that the case? Because it should be the same. Okay, interesting.
It's one of those website things that just happens. You know, like, I didn't ask for that.
What's happening? Yeah, pretty much. It's part of it. Okay, you can see that this one is not matching that well. And I think that's because this one is about the section. So I'll just leave that one on 0 and make this one 60 instead. That should do the trick. Which is not here or there. That should do the trick. Let's try. This is the most interesting part of this stream for sure.
Trying to get it all aligned.
Yes, that's the most interesting part.
It's the most riveting.
This is something I can use, you know. This is what helps me relax at night.
It is when you get something just lined up right, or when I started making blogs on Wix, I find their website's really easy to use for formatting and, you know,
Yeah.
kind of just things look nice. And it was the first time. I guess I've never made a blog before, so I didn't really know how people made them. Like I've read tons of articles, I've just never made one. So when I could actually see my words with photos and with, you know, highlights and with this and that and a catchy headline, and when you actually see it all together, it was really cool. It just made you happy. I'm like, oh, I really like making these. They just look nice. They read nice. It's a 3-minute read, and it's
It
gets my
looks like an
information out there.
actual article.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Yeah, perfect.
And even my meditations, when you had suggested using the Anchor app, to see Spotify emailing me saying that, hey, you know, your meditation is now on Spotify, that just blows my mind. That they've been on there for months now, but it is funny to see Spotify sending you an email to say, hey, this is what's
By
going
the
on.
way,
Yeah, it's really neat.
this one should have a little bit more space now. A little bit more breathing space. Oh, oh, oh. That's it. All right, we're getting a nice flow here.
Perfect.
Then this one, I suddenly feel like this one has way too much white space underneath it. Just, I went full out, but that's not necessary, so let's take half of that.
Mhm.
Should be more than enough. Actually, maybe not even half. I think this will work as well. Great. And then I'll make this one even wider for now. Just so I can have that last line on there and not relief on a new line. Let's see about this one. This one should be 0. And then go to the page settings. It says canvas, it should be full width. That's the reason why we didn't see a header. Now it's loading. There you know some good stuff is happening.
Fantastic.
Alright, cool. I'm just gonna wait for it to stop loading. I'm just gonna see whether there's something that we need to add here. It would be cool to make that pattern, but I think that will take me a little bit too much time for now, and it's already almost 12.
And I
At
think it
night
looks simple and nice.
You can definitely get started without it. It's not a necessity, I think.
Yeah.
But can I press update? Yes, I could press update. Great. Now we just have to pray that it will work, and then we're all good for today.
Cool.
So then we have officially made your landing page.
Awesome.
By the way, I see that we might want to do something about the background image here as well, because we can barely see the woman.
Oh yeah, I was wondering what had happened to that, if it was just on the site. Looks like it got cut off a bit.
Yeah. There we go. Navigator. Alright, cool. It's going to cheat a little bit here. Can fix it later. Okay, good. Style. I think I'll just have to make sure that the background image is center. Maybe that will do the trick. It's more at the bottom actually. I'll bottom center. There we go. Update. And then let's refresh. See how it looks. Great. I want to change the header just a little bit more, because that download meditation button is huge. And it pushes the background image down, which is not what we were going for.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
So, but apart from that, we have your logo here, which could also be a little bit smaller, I now see. And then all the information needs to load in your image. So we got everything. Now, an important part that you have to take into account here is that you have to create a privacy policy. I don't know if you have one, but yeah, it is something you should try to do. There are some generators online. I'll send you some links afterwards, because otherwise people are going to get mad. I don't know what the laws are exactly in Canada, but here in Europe they're quite tight. So, and since your meditation is international, you have to be compliant with the EU one anyway, I think.
This is very true. I hadn't necessarily thought about that. Good thing.
Some weird stuff to think about. I don't know why this is so big then, but okay. 20. Actually, 18, 17, 16 maybe. That's about it. There we go. Oh, and then before I forget, this is 30, so yeah, that should add up. Maths is becoming a big part in my job as well now. It's not something I'm particularly happy with, as you can imagine. I have to calculate some stuff, and you're like, oh, why?
This was
Why?
not part of my job description.
No one told me about that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'm gonna have to put 100 there. Sure that it doesn't become too large then. Update it. And then refresh the site. So then it should be in the middle, the text. There we go. That's better. All right, good. So then I'm going to log out. Go back to your website so we can see it the way it is meant to be seen.
Cool.
And that's like this. Of course, that looks a lot better without the WordPress thingy there.
Yeah, cool.
So we have Intuition Awakening, calm and connected in 10 minutes. Shift the nervous system from fight and flight to healing with this free 10-minute anxiety relief. Download now. Then some facts about anxiety. It's very normal to feel anxious. It can make you feel vulnerable, and it's okay to find support for ourselves. With the right tools, anxiety doesn't have to be in your way. Get the most out of life. 3 years ago, I got started with Reiki as a way of dealing with my anxiety. I was even scared to leave my house. After my first session of Reiki, I was anxiety-free for 3 months. I started meditating. I started to find all these tools to help myself with my mental health. Since that time, I became a certified Reiki master. Today, I present a meditation that I designed to relieve and manage anxiety so you can get the most out of life. Jenine. A toolkit to feel calmer and more present that you can take anywhere. This calming 10-minute meditation that you can access on your phone anywhere at any time will help you to learn how to signal to your body that you are safe using deep breathing, reassure yourself that everything is okay using affirmations, and learn to understand your needs so you can get your needs met. Download my free meditation and experience calm today. Download now. Well, I want to download it.
Fantastic.
Awesome. So, there's only a couple of things that are left to do, and we'll leave that for another time or after the stream. But the landing page is now officially done. It has been designed. We have a nice color scheme that you can use, and yeah, we just have to make sure that the buttons become clickable.
Yep, that's true.
And I'll show you what I would like to do, and I've also showed this with the guys from Vegan Treasure Box. I also showed this to the guys from Vegan Treasure Box. If this thing will load. I am personally a big fan of a pop-up where people can leave their information to go to the download page. So here we have sign up for the beta, and then you get, what's your name? And I'll say, my name is Griffin. Cool, where can we reach out to you? Well, you can reach out to me via Griffin at apis.io. Cool. Have you read this stuff? Yes, I have read and agreed to the privacy policy and terms and conditions. And you can say sign up. And then it will either sign up or give an error. In this case, it will give an error because I've already signed up 4,000 times. But yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. I would like to do the same thing for your website.
Yeah.
So people can just click it and then they will get the same pop-up where they can leave their info. And then they'll go to a thank you page where they can download the meditation. And then they're on your email list in MailChimp. So we can talk about that soon. For now, I would like to thank you for being here. Do you have any questions so far?
No, I think, yeah, like you said, those are kind of the next steps we can take care of. But for today, like, this is awesome. It looks great. It touches on all the points we wanted to. It just looks so professional and neat. All the different uses of space and color just fit my brand. So it's been really great to create this today. I'm excited to see it, on a page. It's really cool.
Awesome. Oh yeah, and that's the last thing is we need to make sure that it's mobile ready as well, because today we just took a look at the desktop version.
Yes,
but usually it isn't too much work to make it mobile proof as well. All right, cool. So if you would turn your video back on, then we can do a nice goodbye. I see that it's kind of dark at your... Really?
It's Canada. It's about 5 p.m. and the sun will be completely gone in about half an hour. It's just...
That's the same thing here, definitely. For us, the sun has been gone for about 5 hours now, but it is how that goes now in the winter, right? So thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to taking the next step with your website with you. And I hope this has been useful. I'll send all the things that we took a look at today to you, so you can use it for your own stuff too. And then I wish you a very happy Christmas, I guess.
Yeah,
maybe a little bit early for that, but anyway, let's I'll see you soon, and thank you for being here.
Sounds good. We'll see you again sometime. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye bye.